Welcome to Chad's Charts on Sports betting. This is video 7 for Chad's Charts, Sports Betting Chapter 5.A. Doing it. So we're actually getting ready to do some betting. This one is on the basic terms of betting. You're able to go out and Google or YouTube, take some training courses, training videos, whatever, read some information about the basics of betting and how the numbers work. I'll just do a short description here. I don't really have any favorite websites. You'll see I use Action Network here, and you'll see Gaming Today here. I just go to Google and search sports betting. The math behind these is relatively simple, so there are lots of calculators and descriptions out there. So first we're going to describe a $100 bet, and very commonly you'll see odds at minus 110. So when you're betting the spread, so a team to win by 5.5 points or favored by 5.5 points kind of thing, or the total score of the game, so the over under. When you're doing one of those bets, typically the books are looking to find, for example, the spread, like where a team is favored by 5.5 points. Typically they're setting that 5.5 point betting line, so they think there's about a 50% chance of either team winning. So it's a handicap on the favored team to basically set a 50-50 chance that either team will win. It works in a very similar way with the over-under. And very often you'll see odds at minus 110 or minus 105 in order to make one of those bets. So let's say the odds are minus 110 to bet both sides of a specific so to bet the odds on a specific game, and I pause the video just to pull up an example here. I've often used covers.com or thelines.com for this, but this is live today. There's a game starting in about 45 minutes here. Kentucky against K-State. And you see the different sports books here. We're using DraftKings and FanDuel. Um, so DraftKings, for example, has a spread of 3 points. An important thing to note, if you bet the spread and um, the point difference is actually 3 points, it'll be a push and you'll get your money back. Nobody wins or loses that if you've bet the spread on that game. If you've used a bonus bet to place that bet, you basically lose your bonus. But we're betting our bonus bets in the plus 200 to plus 400 odds range, and so that basically means we're not going to be betting the spread typically. We'll be betting the money line, and that's who's going to win, who's going to lose. Nonetheless, you can see very commonly, like with both DraftKings and FanDuel and the others, they're setting the spread at a level where they think it's about equally likely that either team will win. That's signaled by having the odds the same on both sides. So as we scroll through these, there's a lot of negative 110s, negative 105. A lot of times you'll see a negative 115, negative 105. So they're creating a little bias towards one side or the other, but they haven't like created enough bias to actually change it to a minus 4.5 odds, for example. Anyway, negative 110, super common. That's the point here. And a good baseline. That means if you bet $100, um, the payout, well, sorry, let's put it this way. If you, on negative odds, if you bet $110, then you would win 100. So you need to bet a little bit more than what you would actually win. So let's say we have two different bettors, and they each bet $100 on a specific game. One bets on team A, one bets on team B, both with negative 110 odds. The casino is going to need to pay out a total of $190. So one of those two teams is going to win, and whoever won the bet, they'll get their initial $100 back plus $90 of winnings. So the winner will get a payout of 190, which is a profit of $90. The loser will have lost their $100 and get no payout. So the casino took in a total of $200 and they paid out 190, and their VIG, or their juice, it's sometimes called, the cut that they take in the odds is basically this $10 in this scenario, which is about 5%. Another really interesting thing I like to look at is the implied odds. So you can enter the American odds here, and it'll tell you what percentage of the time that team is implied to win. And so that the implied odds do not assume there's any casino cut in this. It takes out the VIG or the juice, right? So it would be if the casino were not making any money, each team would, they're paying out as though each team should win 52% of the time. But of course, each team can only win 50% of the time, or a total of 100%, even if one side wins more or less. So the implied odds are an interesting concept, because if we're betting in the like plus 300 range, that means now we need to bet $100 in order to win 300. So our total payout would be 400. We bet 100, we win 300, and our total payout is 400 when we're betting these longer odds. The implied probability of that underdog winning is 25%. So you're only going to win about a quarter, and in practice a little bit less than a quarter of games that have 300 odds. Then you go to 400, for example, and the probability drops to 20%. And again, with the casino taking their money, you're going to win a little bit less than 20% of those games. So you're going to have to play an average of 5 to win 1 and lose 4. So average of 5 to lose 4 and win 1. There are other calculators out there about implied probability. You can go ahead and just Google that if you want. And for example, negative 110 odds, again, we see it's a 52% implied probability of winning that bet.